My name is Michael Corbett. I am lead investigator of the Real-Time Ghost Raiders. I will be the narrator for this video, and I also will be analyzing the video and audio for any paranormal activity. Mark and his wife Paula Anstein are going to take Jody back into the future and walk the steps the soldiers did those days at the Battle of Gettysburg. Mark takes us to our first location, where the soldiers used to take cover during the battle.
You said that it's writing?
Yeah.
It's like signatures?
Yeah, I haven't been out here for quite a while. It's actually carved in the rock. They carved it when the soldiers did. They carved their initials.
So maybe down that side?
At this exact time, my camera's audio was picking up this spirit voice.
Maybe down that side?
We're out here near Spangler Springs, just right over there on the other side of this little knoll here, Spangler Springs, where both sides of the both armies from north and south used it and to get their water. And I'm sure, being Culp's Hill off here behind us here, there's tons and tons and tons of fighting. I mean, it was one of the most active areas around during the battle, and I'm sure they were in here, you know, taking cover, firing, whatever. And
there's a lot of protection.
Yeah, exactly. And right now I'm looking for where they some of the soldiers carved their initials, and it's getting more and more difficult to find. Here's some more. Look here.
What is that?
That might be them.
That's some other ones, maybe.
That might be them.
Look at that. How cool! It says Alec. What does that say? I don't know. It looks like
Ale Cobble. This exact time, we are capturing our spirit voice, responding to my answer when I read the name Ale Cobble.
I don't know. It looks like
Ale Cobble.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
It says, it looks like North Carolina Regiment. And A-L, whatever that is, G, and then, I don't know what, and
Looks like C-O-B-L-E.
It could be.
That is awesome. That is just an awesome find. I didn't even know that this place even
Spangler
existed.
Springs, it's a spring to get water. And the story has it that they did a lot of fighting around here, but they kind of drew a truce that they said that they weren't going to fire on each other when they were getting water. The army, you know, they did use that to get water.
Right.
Yeah, and it's a very popular place there for that. Right. The famous ghost story is about the lady in white. There's two ladies in white, one here and one in
and it's
at the
around
Cover
this
Bridge.
area?
Yes. When we go out here to Spangler Springs, I'll show you Spangler Springs, and there's a monument there. And the story is the lady, they see her come down towards the monument and everything in white. And they say she's distraught, she's upset. When people go to approach her, she disappears. And back in the day, this man came, he courted her and everything. She was going to get married and all that, and he was supposed to meet her here. And she found out that he was married, so she came down here. Now they don't know if she came down here and took something to kill herself, or if she had that for him. At this spot, right in this general area. And she was coming down to the springs. They were going to meet there.
Right.
And when she didn't return, I guess people came looking for her and they found her. And so multiple people throughout the years, you know, they talk about seeing a lady in white that's down here, that comes down through here and then she disappears. You know, but nevertheless, she has been seen out here.
That is so awesome.
Yep.
The stories I don't even know about.
Me and my buddy were out walking around in the evening looking at stuff and doing a little history, and it was after dark. It got dark on us. And I looked up, and this is no lie, honest to goodness, that here this Civil War soldier was. He had his rifle up. He was walking right towards us.
And you thought it was a reenactor?
And no, I didn't know. He was walking like 2 feet off the ground. He was like floating towards us, you know. And that was back, like I say, many years ago. And man, I was in the car and going, you know. And my friend said, "Let me get in the car before you leave."
No, so you're more comfortable now with
Oh my God, yeah.
So when did you actually first feel that you had that, like that you could sense like what you do? Like was it always, or like were you scared of it at first?
Always, and I was always getting a lot of stuff, and my dad was always saying it was a dream, you know.
Right, that's what a lot of
it was
people
different.
say.
It was different to me than dreams.
Right.
And my mom had the ability, and her mother had the ability. I remember as a kid sitting on their kitchen table with my grandmothers, listening to the stories they talked about, which was insane. Some of the stuff they heard and seen, you know. And So Mom never talked about too much about it to me, and
Right.
Dad, he didn't want nothing to be talked
Did
about
she
like
think that
that.
you would be scared? Or did she just
I
not
think
want
it's
to?
probably because Dad would get upset.
Right.
Throughout the
Great
years,
fun.
everything that was going on, you know, I started putting two and two together, you know. Okay, yeah. This is the site here of Culp's Hill, what we're currently standing on here.
Yeah.
And the Confederates and the Unions were fighting here. It was a very heavy battle.
Mm-hmm.
And what this is here is a site of the mass grave that they uncovered and found.
Wow.
And this is where there were so many people dying here, you know, so fast that I guess they just dug a hole and put people in, and then they
Right
came back
at that
years.
spot,
Yes,
right there.
yep, years later they came back and removed the bodies.
Do
And
they still ever find anything? Like,
I imagine there's probably stuff people were buried that they never did find. You know, you hear stories of it. Certainly could be possible. The amount of
Wow.
people that had died here just remained there.
Right.
But this was supposed to be the site of the
Wow.
mass grave site. And of course, you can see it. You know, I've heard this ever since I was in 7th grade up here, throughout, and other people now are putting flags here and everything.
yeah.
So
So now it's starting to become
it's
more.
certainly possibly true. You know.
Next, Mark takes us to a location where they used to hide the slaves when they were making their way to the Underground Railroad.
Is this a spot right here?
Yeah. And
Check that out.
it's been filled in a lot throughout the years
Right,
from
right.
debris and stuff. But yeah, during the time of slavery, they brought the slaves out here that were running away,
Yeah.
trying to become free.
Yeah.
And it's a deep crevice here in the rock, which of course a lot's filled in nowadays.
Right.
And they put them in there, and then they put sticks and leaves and everything over top of it.
Wow.
And you just think you're walking out over the rock and down over the hill,
Yeah.
and they would be bypassed and not be found. Now, contrary to what a lot of people believe, there is a lot of area around here that was part of the Underground Railroad.
Really?
Yeah, Cashtown had a lot of it. The Fairfield Inn has it. The Dobbin House in town,
Yeah.
they have a place where the slaves would hide inside like fake walls and
Yeah,
rooms.
yeah.
And if you go take the tour at the Dobbin House, and it's right there on Steinway Avenue, and they can show you where they hid slaves in there.
Really?
Yeah, to protect them.
Here?
Well, this is the trolley path right here.
Oh, this is the path
This
that
is the
I hiked.
path, and I don't know how it was exactly laid out, but there was a little place where you could dance here.
Oh,
And
really?
then
In
there
this area right here?
here, over there on top of Devil's Den.
Yeah.
And there was a photo booth there for people after the war. You know, because they would come to tour
Right.
and everything, and then of course they put the trolleys. They'd bring them in from Gettysburg. You know, all the trolley cars were named after
Right,
the generals and stuff. And yeah, it came around. It came down off of out of town. Came out past the on the opposite side of the road of the Pennsylvania Monument.
Yeah.
Came out. It came down along the hill there, little round top, and it
Yeah.
came down like this, and it came right across here, and it went out around Devil's Den, and then made its way back towards Gettysburg.
Are you serious? I've been walking the trolley
You
path
walk, you
this
go
whole
across the
time.
creek down there. You go out
I've been
down
walking
there.
a trolley path and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, and then it goes out down across.
Are you
the
kidding
yeah.
me?
This was used as a watering trough for the horses. There's water in it now.
Oh, check that out. Look at that. Look at that. The dirt.
Oh, I see.
like,
He's
scared
over
them.
there, the big one.
Look. I don't want to disturb them.
But then one day I was out and there was people down here, and
Yeah.
I do park watch in the evening, make sure nobody's damaging the park and stuff.
Right.
I think there was 3 girls and 2 guys came in. They parked. Right? So I pull one around, get out, and walk over towards, start walking over the rocks to see if they're up to no good, right? Because this is late at night,
Right,
you know,
right.
like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And so I'm looking at this person, right?
Right.
This person takes 2 steps and disappears. It was a daggone ghost.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Not only was Gettysburg a well-known battle and famous, you know, there was a less-known battle. It was a bunch of different Indians. Behind me over here in these fields, they found numerous different tribes' weapons, you know, artifacts, you know, bones pertaining to what would have been battle between different tribes. So they considered it was definitely a battleground for the Indians that were in the area. You never hear about it
I never heard
through
of
any
it.
of the books, but it is documented. Really interesting
I love historical
to
society.
think that not only did the Indians battle on this ground, you know, our country was divided and fought on this ground for the same thing.
And are they still finding stuff popping up here and there?
Probably not, because as you can see, it's not really farmed here, you know,
Right.
and it's just left the way it was back in the day.
Right.
You know, nobody's allowed to go out here and pick up any artifacts or anything like that. So they found different types of weapons, they told me. The Park Service actually told me that they found different weapons or different types of arrowheads, which, you know, one tribe would cut a certain type, another tribe would, they look a bit different from the other people. And I imagine there were spear points, things like that. There are little tomahawks and mattocks and things.
Now, is there any rocks in here that are supposed to have any special markings on them, or no?
Well, somewhere I'm told that between the battlefield here and Devil's Den, there's a rock with a tomahawk covered in it.
Now, if you find it, do you get to have bragging rights?
Well, we'll all share the bragging rights. How's that?
And you said you patrol around here at nighttime?
Yeah, I do park watch here. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
I've learned so much stuff today. Like, it's amazing. It boggles me of how much stuff that I thought I knew, and you have just blew my mind. But thank you so much for bringing us here. And next, any other stops around here?
Yeah, right down to the dinosaur tracks.
Awesome! I'm excited about that.
Here's one of the tracks right here.
This is one. But that one you can really see that it is a three-toed dinosaur track.
It's out of the Trossel family. You know, I don't know. I mean, people knew what it was, and they knew exactly where these rocks came from when they did the bridge, and it came out of these stones come from the Trossel family quarry.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
And there's some other ones on the other side of the bridge too.
It was one of the bridges.
And it's called Camp Colt.
I wonder how many more of these rocks have fossils like on the sides and stuff.
That's right, yeah.
People with those houses?
Oh yeah. There's people like you and me. Yeah.
Yeah, the quarry is up not too far
And these
from
houses
us.
here
Yeah.
in the park.
And that's where these rocks
No one's
came
living
That's where they came
Oh
from,
yeah.
And we investigated Mr. G's, and when we got up from where he has his tables and stuff out once we reviewed the evidence, we had a lady said, and how'd she say it,
she
Mark?
goes, "Don't leave me," just like. You'll see when we go in where we were
That's
sitting at the
chilling.
table,
I love
and one entrance, right above it in the second floor,
Yeah.
is another entrance to the balcony.
Yeah.
Well, I had my camera set up at night out there, and now granted the door was wedged against the
Big heavy door.
Yeah.
cord coming out for the camera. Well,
There was no wind.
No wind. You can see on the
Nothing.
camera, no wind. There was no expressions on anybody else's face checking the other camera.
We should have heard what
This
happened.
door opened so hard and slammed into the wall when it opened up that you can see the door twist and has Venetian blinds.
We
and
never
the
changed
cord for the
expressions,
Venetian
and we were
blinds.
right below.
The cord from the Venetian blind went up like this and came down in behind the Venetian blind. That's how hard that door opened.
Now
Next stop, the bridge.
Yes, that's my favorite.
Yep.
And then if you're
Down that Piscay up here,
Yeah.
and you had Winifred introduced herself. And
Winifred?
yeah,
Winifred.
Wow.
it goes, "My name is Winifred."
Yeah.
Really?
The Winnie was the emphasis on Winifred.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And then we were out here another time, and I think that's also when we were talking to the spirits on the other end of the bridge. I was telling you about the man and woman and the horses.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't know if it was one of them. It might have been him. It was man's voice say, "God is coming."
Did you see that? It's in grade 1871. Or no, what does it say? I mean, what does it say? 1871 or 77?
777, I think, yeah.
As long as people are here.
As we make our way across the bridge, Velma, Mark and Paula's dog, starts acting funny, and at this exact time, an EVP is captured from my camera's audio.
Please come and then ask you to leave.
Get back here.
The only time
would want to do that.
Right.
That's such a shame. Would want to do that.
Right.
That's such a shame.
Did Velma, Mark's dog, sense this spirit?
Oh, back here.
But otherwise,
Would want to do that.
right.
That's such a shame.
They're very good.
No,
Definitely
sit.
the man does not.
Now, do you know the story of the 3 men that were apparently hung?
They say that they were hung.
Mark
Do you know the story?
I know the story, yeah.
Can you tell it?
But well, the story has it that that everybody tells is they were deserters or traitors, whichever way it's told. And since this was the retreat route, they hung the 3 people here on the end of the bridge for, as a way to show you do not do that. And they hung them, and they had to go underneath them. Now that's the story. There's no records in Park Service records about that. So.
Yeah, no records.
It's just like a passed down story.
Right. Now, we do have a picture, if you zoom in on it, it's on the other side of the bridge. And it looks like white mist coming down. One could be the size of a person, the other 2 might have just been floating.
Hanging down?
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
really?
but it was on the other side of the bridge. But remember I told you before, that bridge was over here, this side.
Right.
Yeah, just because it's not recorded doesn't mean
Yeah.
that it
It
didn't
doesn't, yeah,
happen.
exactly.
A lot
There's
of
so much
things.
undocumented
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
so much. And this bridge was also destroyed. Like when was it? 1996. It washed
It
downriver.
washed down. Most of
Yeah.
it, they kept most of it. It didn't get too terribly torn up, and that's why they continued to turn it.
Right. Yeah. Usually, whenever I come here, I just stay up in this general area. I will take the path on the side. I take it down, and then I'll come back up, and then I come over this side, and then I'll go over there, and then I'll try to cross over where the lake is. And it's usually at nighttime. I like crossing over there at nighttime, so I get some really good pictures.
And then of course he got an EVP, and the guy said his name was Paul Wheaton.
Before Paula could even finish her story, we captured that same EVP, Wheaton, through our camera's audio.
He got an EVP, and the guy said his name was Paul Wheaton. And then of course he got an EVP, and the guy said his name was Paul.
Nice.
That one.
She's excited to just go. Now, you said that she can sense stuff. Like, does she sense anything, or is she like,
she's
pulling
not-
towards something?
No, not now. She's just
Okay.
excited.
She's just excited. Okay.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Right.
That's such a shame.
Sit.
We want to thank Mark and his wife Paula for giving us this extraordinary tour of Gettysburg. Otherwise, we would have never gotten without them. Thank you guys.